Hello! We are back for some more Open Warlords streaming. Alright, we are doing tonight is some maps. We're doing maps. So let's jump right in. And once we get in, I'm gonna go look at my to-do list, see if I can figure out where we stopped last stream. I think we were doing a Tanoa map, maybe, or Livonia. We might have been doing Livonia Maverick, but we'll go double check our list. Let's get chat set up. Yep, chat's working. Some pretty good tunes on Chill Hop tonight. Definitely is fitting the vibe. I think we were on Livonia. Okay, let's go find our list. Okay, so it appears last stream we were working on Miller Edition, and we got Livonia, Tanoa, and Malden done during the last couple streams. So that means we're probably working on Maverick, because I don't see Maverick on here, so... Yep, it looks like Maverick is the one that's missing. It's... here. So we need Maverick, Livonia. And once we get Livonia done, we transport that over to Tanoa, and then we modify it to fit on Tanoa, and then our final map we do is Malden. Okay, cool. Looks like we got all the sectors placed. Appears I'm just missing the links, so that's awesome. Interesting. I just got a warning about my bitrate. What? So there was an update to OBS. I hope it didn't break my stream settings. Lame. Oh well, we'll have to find out after stream. So. I'm really worried the stream might be totally borked right now. Let's check settings real quick. Give me 1 second. Oh yeah, it jacked the resolution up to 1080. Okay, well, we'll have one after the stream. I'll drop that back down to 720. Guess I could up the bitrate, but Where in the world does it allow me to adjust bitrate? Okay, up the bitrate just a little bit to so hopefully that helps out a little bit. But let's get back to working on the map. Okay, so we need to continue syncing the triggers. And before we get too far into this, let's take a look back at what we actually want going on here. Okay, so I'm not going to link that to the airfield. What I'm going to do is I'm going to link this town to that one right there. Then I'll link that to the airfield. Then I go over here and I'll link this to the airfield. There we go. Nice. And this needs to link over here to something over here. Here we go. That's a really bad place to have center of a base. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I want to link here, I want to link there. And doing that, I think I just deleted all the links to this zone right here. Yep. Saw somebody in one of the discords I was in, they were talking about randomized sector links. Trying to think. I'm sure that if I actually went to the mission file, I could actually see these links. But the thing is, the SQM file, you can't. You can't run SQF code, so you would. I'm not sure how you would code it. Because I'm pretty sure these links are in the SQM file. And since you can't run code in the SQM file, I'm not sure how you modify it. Like at runtime, to get randomized sectors. Oh, that's a neat little base spot right there. I didn't even notice it. This little base was so small. I was like... Looks like it's in some kind of depression. Yeah. Because it has those high points all around the edge. Oh, dude, I really want to go see what's over there. That looks like a very cool zone to fight in. Looks like a good place to get slaughtered, actually, is what it looks like. Huh. Lembroke. I recognize this word because I used to, like in some games, like I put my name backwards instead of Korbelz. If you spell Korbelz backwards, it's Borbelz. So it's Lembrook. So yeah, if you take that M out and you swap the O and the R around, that's literally my name backwards. Yeah, I think we're getting kind of close to done. Ooh, I feel like this link right here probably needs to go. Like you kind of, yeah, that's kind of skip this other little town here. And why is this? I feel like that town might not be getting a lot of play. One of these two is. Yeah, I feel like that town's not going to get a lot of playtime. Because if my goal is to go from here to here as fast as possible, I would just skip that. Let's go here to here. So I could just leave that there, or I could also connect it here. But then at that point, it's a 50-50 shot. Might just leave it like that. Kind of same thing going on here. Like if my goal was to come up here and get to the enemy as fast, and the enemy is over here, I would just go cut right through. In fact, we could, oop, there, solved. So now there is a defensive line here. This is a defense in depth type strategy. Like if your base is right here, or anywhere along this line, the enemy has like a string of bases they have to cap to get to you. Ooh, I linked that base. I linked that wrong. Oops. Okay, we're linking this to this base and not. That should be. So I don't know if you guys play like the EU11. server. Dude, they put a new map out. Like, I'm all for new maps. I mean, obviously, you guys see me. I spend literally hundreds of hours working on maps. Their new map, they went for a lot of sectors. They had a lot of sectors to the map. I was like, whoa, when I saw the map. Okay, I feel like I'm kind of happy with that. Okay, let's jump in and see how broken it is. Fingers crossed. No whammies. Yeah, I'm getting mega tired of this morning, so I'm going to up the bitrate even more. Oddly enough, I was doing some research into, like, for my Twitch stream. And it turned out my internet speed just got randomly increased for unknown reasons, so you can't actually, that might have been why OBS upped the quality of the stream, because it might have done a quick little speed test in the background and been like, oh look, this is your recommended setting. So because my old speed, I could technically stream in 1080p, but like if I had any internet hiccups or anything, it would, you know, cause issues with the stream. So I set the bitrate like about half of what my actual internet speed is.
Warlords protocol initialized.
But with the speed increase, I could technically stream in 1080p and not look awful if I go a little bit above 50% of my internet speed. My upload speed, that is. I do like the way this map looks. Definitely has a Chernarus vibe to it. Oh, this is actually good. This will help me test the stream out. Go to YouTube real quick. Hang on, I'm rewatching the stream replay real quick. We'll see how the grass looks. Okay, the grass is not awful. Cool, we'll go with it. Streaming at 1080p now, boys. Let's go. Nice. The old markers from Altus are still up here. And just to put perspective, like how this map is oriented, if you've played Altus, so near you would be like right here, and AAC is like right here. Yeah. Cavallo would be like right here at the very top. And we'll eventually have to go through and adjust the base locations, possible base locations, because right now, you know, there's no reason to be starting here in the center of a map like that. But that's just kind of artifact of the way we're building these maps. At this point, I'm not auditing that. Just getting the map built and working. Then we can go back and fine-tune everything for gameplay later on. Interesting, I got the same zone. And now I'm intrigued. I'm gonna do a couple of restarts real quick.
Voting for the next sector.
Need to make sure there's more than like 3 base locations. Because there is a world. Where I incidentally delete all the bases that can be bases from Altus, and I only put a bunch of no bases. Okay, cool. We got something different this time. Oh, nice. Nice. That corner one could be a base. It's an airfield too. Oh, everything's an airfield. It's Maverick. I forgot. I forgot. Let's do one more just for funsies, see what happens. Speaking of that, I need to submit a pull request to the Orson Vet guys. Oh, somebody got an off marker. Off map, yeah. Okay, so we need to pull this sector down slightly. No, we don't. That should be good. Cool. I like it. I dig it. Okay, so let's go document all this. Because as G.I. Joe said, documentation is half the battle. G.I. Joe definitely didn't say that, but that's what he meant. What he said, knowledge is half the battle. That's what he was talking about. You have to document your code. Alright, Warlords Maverick. Enoch, Livonia. Okay, sweet. Map number 1 is done, and now we're going to go to our file explorer here. And what we are going to do is we are going to take the mission FQM from Warlords Maverick Enoch, which is Livonia. I'll copy this. And I'm going to paste it into, let's see, Tanawa? Is it Tanawa? Double check. Yep. Pasting it into Tanawa. We've got Warlords Maverick Tanawa. We're not going to make that catastrophic mistake we made last stream where we pasted into the wrong mission and almost broke everything. Okay, cool. So we're in Tanawa. Now what we're going to do here, we're going to go to Scenario Open. Warlords Maverick Tanawa. And we should see the exact same map that we just worked on. Yes, we did. This is perfect. Nice. Very, very nice. So now all we have to do is basically just adjust this base setup to work on this new map. Super easy. And I already have sensible connection set up. Oh, these guys should probably be on land, I think, right? Yeah, let's keep these guys on land. I have a feeling if I move the little AI spawner spots, something's gonna horribly break. Okay, so if I was gonna do this, how would I do this? I think I can get away with doing something crazy here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to copy all this right here. And I'm going to drag it. Over here like so. Boom. And we're going to go through and we're going to delete all these connectors. And I think what I'm going to do down here is I'm going to copy all this, drag this up over that island. Okay, cool. So now I have basically 3 smaller maps to deal with. I have the main island, Georgetown Islands. I have the little side islands, and then I have this island. They're all separate entities that I can kind of like divide and conquer here. Move you over there. So this is one of our carriers. This is the other carrier. I have no idea if that's a good idea or not. In fact, it's probably an awful idea because you're going to take off directly into the abyss and get nuked. But that's a problem we'll deal with later. And all of these are airfields because this is Miller Edition, so we don't really have to worry about actually, let's change this up a little bit. Put you over here. Let's just start deleting sectors or sector links here. I found when I leave these sector links up, it really limits my creativity on what I'm actually trying to do. So does it make any sense to have an airfield carrier right next to a little airstrip? No. Are we going to do it anyways? Yeah, probably. That's mostly a temporary thing. I'll plan on moving that later on. And I want one zone over here by the ferry just because it's a little choke point kind of place to fight. Right, so this little, okay, this big sector over here, I can move off. I don't know if this railway depot looks cool or not. Do not know. Got that there. And I have the same problem up here. I have an airfield. And I'm going to have initially, just for the initial placement, we're going to have an aircraft carrier directly next to a... Yeah, these carriers aren't even usable right now, so I don't know why I'm stressing over it so much. I think right now it's way better just to get stuff. Get the map working and refine it later. Especially the size of some of these sectors. But yeah, we're definitely going to have to... Some of these sectors are way too big for the villages I'm placing on the top of. I never noticed this maze on the map over here. You see this? That's gonna be a cool little zone. Okay, where can I put the rest of these? Firing range? Looks very basic. I think one of the other, when we're doing Mill Edition, we did not put a zone up here, so I want to put a zone up here this time. So have something a little bit different. Okay, so that's the basic zone sectors for all placement for all those. Cool. We got lots of zones to do over here. So I want the big, huge zone to actually be the airfield. Okay. Get rid of some of these links. This will be like the port factory area. And I think last time I put this up here just because it's a cool visual, but I think I want to put it somewhere else this time. It looks like there's some old village over here, so we're gonna put that over there on the village. Yeah, we're definitely going to shrink down some of these zones. They're just ridiculously huge. These little villages are sitting on top of. Okay, cool. That island is done. We have to go back through and do all the sector links and that stuff, so I think it's pretty easy. I just need to set up zone over here on the airfield. Yes. Okay, where do I put this sector right here? Still hit these links just to give me a little bit more freedom. I know where that zone's going. It's going to go in at this railway depot up here. Okay, I need a big zone over here for Georgetown. Georgetown is a huge city. And I also want a zone over here on the Tanoa Sugar Company. Zone over there on the power plants. Because gotta have a zone on power plants. It's like a rule of Warlords. Okay, so I got about 3 sectors left. I can stick you right over here on this little village. Stick you way over here. Okay, so if I was going to put one more zone somewhere, where would I put you? I feel like this little town up here. Cool. That's feeling pretty good, actually. I avoided some of these mountaintops and stuff because helicopter. Oh, this town is not on anything. I say that, and I'm gonna stick this guy on top of it. There we go. Feel like it would probably be better here on Comms Bravo, but I kind of like the look of having like a base way up on top of a mountain. Sucks for spawning in AI and stuff, but something we may have to revert later on once we get some gameplay time on this, but it'll work for now. Now the fun part, connecting all the zones. How do I want to connect this carrier? Yeah, I think we're going to do it through this zone. And this will act as a bypass to skip over the carrier if you don't want it, right there. And I kind of have that island divided into 2 halves with a single connecting point between them. I'll show you. So I've basically divided this island like down the middle right here, kind of the middle. And this is your one and only link between the 2 sides. So if you're coming over from this island, you take the Moses route, go here, here, or if you go carrier here, here, you now have a choke point town. And as well as this island has 2 choke points right there and there. So I'm not intentionally not going to link that airfield in this. So kind of sort of each one of these islands can kind of act like although this is Maverick and we can do a lot more like YOLO gameplay. So tell you what, we'll do that. So unlike Miller Edition, where this is like much more of an arcade game mode, we're not super worried about that as quite as much. Like that would be a really good gameplay option if I was doing Miller Edition. Like make all these have choke points on the entrance and exit of each of these islands. But I kind of remembered we're doing Maverick and we can be a little more free with what we're doing. Kind of just do everything all at once. I really want to see what that maze looks like. It's pretty easy to get through. It actually looks like you can just run right through the middle of it. Curiosity is getting better at me now. I gotta... Oh, yeah, that is literally just a tiny little maze. Yeah, but you can actually just run through the middle. This is gonna be so funny if AI spawned inside of this. That would... Oh, we're making really, really good progress today. Say that, then we're going to get to the Malden map, and it's going to be a disaster. I'm just thinking about the connectors. Like, do I want to toss a connector over here? I'm like, nah, cool. So this sector right here is going to get no game time at all. I can already tell you right now, like, there's basically no reason to go over there. It's also one of those things, like, if I know the sector's not going to get any game times, like, why am I leaving it in the game? But at the same time, it's like, In fact, this zone won't get any playtime either because that connection I just made, So you saw I connected the airfield to this zone, and this zone is one of my gateway zones onto the island. So if someone comes in and their whole goal is to get to the airfield and then just continue up, there's no reason to ever go to that zone right there. Unless you want CP, of course. I mean, that's obviously could be a thing. That may be a deciding factor too, because when we finally go through and do an audit of these, we're going to be shrinking a lot of these sectors. Which means I may end up writing like a dynamic CP system. Because I think like this map, I'll end up shrinking the sectors so much for all these little camps. You'll have like significantly less CP. I'm gonna think about that for a couple seconds. Tell you what, I'm gonna take a quick AFK. And then we'll get this map finished up and move on to the hard work for tonight, which is going to be Malden for the final hour of the stream. And if I can get that done and get this published out to the Warlords map pack tonight, we could go back to technical work tomorrow night, which is awesome. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, we're back. Okay, so we got the islands done. Yup. So we got this island left to do. So let's start here at the bottom, and this is going to be our gateway zone onto the sector. Get a couple of connections out of here. I was reading the Reforger part of the Discord that this map is already in Reforger. Someone was claiming they didn't cite any sources or anything, but they were saying this was the very first map that got ported into the Infusion engine. And BA has a working version in the Fusion engine, but they're just not using it. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and press X for doubt on that one. Like, I have no doubt they have probably ported like the terrain mesh and stuff over to Infusion, but I feel like this map chugs on Arma 3, and I think Arma 3's runs probably way better than Infusion right now, so. I feel like this map would completely demolish Fusion. Although saying that, apparently there's a Vietnam mods are really popular right now in Reforger, which at first I thought was really strange, because I was like, dude, Prairie Fire is like this CDLC for Arma 3 is probably so much like more complete. Seems weird that people would be excited about that, but then I remembered, oh yeah, they're console players. They don't have access to. Let's not connect that there. What is this zone doing? Why is this zone existed? Let's delete that. This will be comms Bravo. Yeah. Yeah, but the console players, they don't have access to Arma 3 and Prairie Fire, so that would totally make sense. That they would be really hyped up to play a Vietnam map. Yeah, and it also brings up a really good point. If you think about it, like if the community is getting this hyped up for a Vietnam era map, and we more or less know the feature set of Arma 4 based on what's in the Infusion engine right now. Like, they don't have guided weapons, they don't have stuff like radar. So you more or less bracket the time frame that Arma 4 can exist in the Fusion engine sometime between, and we know it's going to have helicopters because they took the effort to make helicopters work. So helicopters came in like mainstream military use in the 1950s, and they don't really have any guided weapons, so that puts your high side around 1990, and Reforger is 1989. So if you look at it, oh no. So your bracket is basically from 1950 to 1990. It's like, well, you only have two real periods of time you can go with there. You basically can go like fictional 1980s, which, that's where Reforger's set, and that's where they're doing a lot of the asset development for. So that's, obviously going to be probably by far the most likely one, but you also, all the tech exists just as well. I mean, because if you can do 1980s, you can do a Vietnam, the exact same tech. Like as far as engine goes. And I think both the MI8 and the Huey were both. I don't actually know the in-service date of the MI8, but it's pretty old. Like, you could definitely shoehorn it into a Vietnam scenario, even if it came out slightly after Vietnam. Yeah, but knowing the Russians, it probably came out like 1964 or something. Just still using it as their main transport helicopter. Because it is actually, grand scheme of things, with all the upgrades they've done to it, it's actually fairly decent helicopter. I got a couple hundred like loggable flight hours in the MI8 from, I was working on a flight simulator, like a professional, like huge, like $1 million flight sim, doing coding stuff. And to test my code, I had to actually learn to fly because I had to go into the game to test. I was like, go into the, call it a game, but it was very Arma-like, the simulation. Like, even had an editor just like this. Looked a lot like this editor. I had a lot more advanced stuff though. Like, there was like line of sight, all this other stuff you had to worry about. So I was writing this little AI system in, like, to send commands out to the aircraft. I was having the AI order around. I literally had to put a little bunch of command posts all over the place and have them relay radio signals to the airplanes. I was like, oh, this is kind of a pain in the ass, but at the same time, it's literally probably how you would have to do it in real life if you didn't have satellite comms like we do today. Dude, yeah, that would actually suck. I started thinking, damn, how'd they do this shit in World War II? Like, man, that would actually, like, I guess they had like telegraph wires and stuff back then that were probably the equivalent of like over the horizon communications. It's ever gonna be so weird, dude. If there's like a world war and like space comms get taken out, it's like we rely, like the U.S. military relies so much on our space assets now. It's like, we could obviously still function without satellites, but damn, does it make things easy. Like, it's like, oh hey, you want to coordinate a worldwide, you know, strike down to the second? No problem. You can do that. You can literally do that in real time without any pre-planning. Okay. I think all the sectors are connected. Let's save this. Do a couple starts just to see how it works. Make sure everything is not broken. Ooh, nice. Nice starting zone. Like it. Do a quick. Actually, let's make sure boots up for both teams.
Protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector.
Yo, it's not bad at all, dude. We've been streaming for like exactly an hour and we got 2 or 3 maps done. This might happen. Wow, that runway is a lot bigger than I thought it was. I really like the vibes on this map. I like the Livonia map too. I think I've just been playing Altas for play Altas for 7,000 hours. All of a sudden you see something new, you're like, oh, I guess anything new is cool. Yeah, hopefully when we get this map pack pushed out, it'll encourage some other, it'll help people get started. I mean, break down the initial barrier of entry for people making new Warlords maps. I'm not gonna lie, I really like the look of this map. Like the sectors, not the map, but the way I laid the sectors out. Dude, it just looks clean, crisp. This is it right here. This is, yeah. I think I feel like I may have overdone it a little bit down here with this, because I already know these two sectors are gonna get 0 playtime, so it's like, yeah, I could probably delete those. But yeah, I mean, this is, yeah, that is the vibe.
Warlords protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector.
I get PTSD every time I see this place, because for the longest time I couldn't remember the controls to VTOL. So I think there was like a VTOL mission or something like I was using, and it would start me at this airport. I kept crashing my VTOL here because I couldn't remember the dang controls. So every time I see this airfield now, all I can think about is running into the... Because what would happen is I would like crank my engines up, because I would park over there and I'd crank the engines up. I couldn't figure out how to turn them to cells. I'd like go off the runway right into these trees right here. Every single freaking time, dude. I was like, ah. So that's all I think about. I'm on that runway. Okay, we're just gonna do a couple quick looks at the map. See the layout. Oh my god, I wish I had time to play this. This just looks fun, dude. Like, they're opposite corners of the map. There's not a direct connection, so like, instead of just cutting right through the middle like you do in Altus, you need to come around here and boop boop boop. Go attack. There's fog of war, so you wouldn't actually know if he was coming around this side or if he's coming around this way, or maybe if you went all the way up here. Then all of a sudden he's like, ah! You don't cap any of these zones as warning sectors, and nobody's keeping track where the enemy team is. They just pop up right next to you. This map just seems fun. Probably because the islands. Islands probably make it look like that. Okay. And documentation to half the battle, so let's go document all this. Tandoa. Actually, let's do this in a smarter way. Alright, so our final map to work on is Malden 2035 Maverick. This is it. Let's go, boys. Man, it's been so long since I had a beer, I can't, like, opened this beer up over an hour ago and I still can't finish it. So the plan, since this is a holiday week, I'm trying to fit some streams in. So we're definitely going to stream again tomorrow night. That'll be Thursday. That'll be Thursday night for me, like Friday morning for you guys. Oh yeah, this is oh boy, this is well, at least I did myself a little bit of, so when I did this, I looks like I drug I didn't completely flop it. I put a couple zones up there. So yeah, this is gonna probably take all stream at the start of next stream. This is nuts. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get a new drink before we start this. But that gives me hope. It's funny, the little small things you do, and I put the... Yeah, it looks... Oh, yeah. So I actually have done some work here. It looks like I put the carrier here. I stuck a carrier out there. I put Newtown up here. And I put the airfield and the carrier up there, so yeah. At least on the outer edges of this map, I have done a little bit of work. But this middle part, holy cow. Ooh, buddy. Good news is this is going to be way easier than Miller Edition. Miller Edition, we had to, I don't, if you guys remember, we had to go through and pick out all the factories. We had to pull the factories out, put them out here in the ocean. Then we had to go through and like mass delete all this stuff and then pull the factories back in, and it was a mess. Here, I don't have to worry about that because every single zone is exactly the same except this one. Why does this not have heliports? Okay, so the zone without the helipads is now gone. That means there is a zone on Altus somewhere which is not coded correctly for this game mode. I'm now extremely concerned, but okay. Someone will eventually find it and report it to me. I will be very happy when they do that. Because now I know there is a zone sitting on Altus somewhere that I completely missed on my audit. Oh no. I'm gonna have a nightmare about that tonight. Okay, let's finish this drink and I'm gonna go AFK real quick, finish this drink, get a new drink, and then we're gonna start busting out some sectors here. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let's go. Alright, so let's start deleting. First thing we should do is just delete all these freaking sectors. Like, okay, do I need? Let's delete all the unneeded stuff up here. Whoops. Okay, let's just undo that right now. Okay. We're just gonna plop that here for right now. We're gonna pull this over here closer to the center. And I don't think we need this other zone here because this island is already ridiculously small. In fact, I likely don't need the zone at all, but yeah, let's just get rid of it. What I don't want to do is get rid of this stuff. All this. I feel like these fire bases aren't really needed. Wait, this is too small. Okay, we're making some progress here. Delete. Making some huge progress with our delete button. That's for sure. Whoops. So undo that. Okay, that zone is going to get no play at all right down here, but that's all right. And delete that zone. And delete that zone. So I was thinking about moving the carrier down there, but if I put the carrier, it's literally going to be butted right up against the kill zone, so. Although I think I got rid of the kill zones. I might have got rid of the kill zones. Oh, let's undo that. Copied too much. That zone's going to need some serious adjustment. In fact, let's not do that. So we're going to delete this zone. Delete that zone, then we're going to move this little zone over to this town. There, okay. Okay, so I got this sector, this part of the map, kind of sort of cleaned up a little bit. So let's go do the top here. Okay, I'm not a fan of the chill hop radio that's playing right now. Like, this song is not passing the vibe check. Okay, so let's do that there, and move you over here. Some sort of military base over here. There's our radio station over here. Oh, this looks like it's going to get really good overwatch on the airfield over here. I have no idea what that building is right here, but it looks very cool on the map. I think I'm definitely going to have to resize a bunch of these zones. They feel ridiculously oversized for this map. Alright, is this zone ever going to do anything useful? Just kind of like, no, I don't think it is. So, delete. Okay, and I can delete that zone. I can delete this zone. Okay, nice. We're really starting to bang it out here. I like this. Feels good to make progress. Man, I feel bad having this massive gap on this part of the map, but at the same time, I'm like, you know, there's really nothing interesting to put a zone on there, so goodbye. Yeah, I think some of my maps I might have overdone on zones, and after actually like seeing the what happens like gameplay wise when you like go crazy with zones like they did recently on U11, I'm like, it's kind of changed my perspective a little bit after Because but prior to that, it was a very academic thing because nobody had ever gone really crazy with zones on a map. Like, people more or less stuck to, you know, just some modifications to the more or less the original Altus kind of blueprint. So that's really the only data point you have for gameplay, but it was like after seeing something different, it's like, ooh. I don't know how I feel about that. There's obviously no right or wrong way to build a map. Map is a completely creative endeavor, so it's kind of do your own thing. But don't know how good it is for gameplay. Like, having 10 bajillion sectors that don't offer any value, so now I'm kind of erring more on the... Because before I wasn't deleting things because it was such a... It can be a bit of a pain to add stuff back, but... Having seen the other side of the coin now, I'm very much a... If the sector isn't offering good gameplay, then kind of why have it situation. And that's kind of where we're at the point now. I think I've got... Like, for instance, I could put a little zone up here. It's like a little building up there. But literally no one's ever going to go up there, so... Yeah, I'm in like big delete now. Wow, what a difference 20 minutes makes, man. Massively clean this map up. Question is, do I want to put zones out on this mountains? Really no. I'll do one zone right here in the middle, and I think we'll call it good there. Because there is a little building and a... Looks like a gully down there. With a building inside of it with a small little forest. This area kind of looks like a flat plateau with a really steep hill on it. So, slap something right there. Deleting you. You. I don't see any other good, like, really points of interest. Yeah, I kind of feel like I got everything covered. Plus some. So I could probably delete these two zones. Really want to put this little tiny zone right on top of this, but the way sectors work, they're three-dimensional. And this looks like an insanely steep mountain valley. I have a feeling it's going to confuse players a lot. And I could get the same gameplay effects being able to see the mountain if I put it over here by this gas station, so... This way they're only like 200 meters away from that mountain. And they're not stuck down in a massive gully. This is relatively flat along the road. What is this sector doing? It's not on top of anything. There we go. Okay, that sector is doing nothing. We could just get rid of it. Yeah. That sector, okay, that's doing something. Let's try to make sure every sector has a purpose here. All right. I'm down with this. This is... has a significant number of sectors, but not a ridiculously overbearing number. Not gonna lie, I'm super hyped to get this update out for the Warlords map pack. It's gonna be awesome. Oh yeah, I haven't told you guys yet. For this next map pack update, like maybe 2 months ago, I got access to the original official server maps. I think they're original official server maps. I can't actually get them to boot up. But yeah, I'm going to be tossing them in the map pack. Literally sight unseen, because I haven't taken the time. I don't want to like copy them into one of these missions. So I'd have to set up like a dummy mission and copy it into there. And I'm like, yeah, it's too much work. I'll just, they're the original official maps, which I think is going to be kind of cool because I think they still have the old, really, really old sector connections on them. There was apparently a really wild connector up north on the original official maps. Yeah, this music is more the... Yeah, this is more the chill make maps kind of vibe. This poor little zone out here, all by itself. No one's ever gonna go see that zone. Literally ever. Wow, I didn't even open up my drink. I'm a buffoon. I just tried to drink a closed can. Ooh, interesting. How do I want to connect these zones? This is our arcade map, so we're just gonna do everything everywhere. It's kind of a weird feeling knowing how close I am to being done with this first pass on all these maps. I think I started this a couple months ago. Oh, dude, first pass done. But now I'm already thinking like ahead, like, okay, so how am I gonna try to like mentally plan out how we're gonna do the other revisions? Like, for Maverick, we're gonna have to go through here, and for Maverick and Miller Edition, we're gonna have to do a base audit round, like can be base faults. That's how you control. The basing is random, but you can actually control the randomness via the selecting which sectors can be bases and which can't. Something I didn't learn till way too late. I think after I left the Warson Vet project, because back during when I was working on EU11, I was actually trying to like control randomness via the actual script that select bases locations, and that's the wrong way to do it. It was designed in a way where you can toggle each individual base. Can be base, can not be base. And that's actually like, for instance, like we'll take this map just to give you an explanation. Like I would set like these, if I wanted a east versus west style map, I would set like these 5 bases to be can be base, and then I would set like these 5 bases can be base. So that way you would have an east-west style fight, or you could set them all to be base and just let the system run. But that's not actually how it was designed. It was designed for you to filter manually. You go through and filter out all these middle bases to be the middle ground. Oh, I completely forgot about up here. Some linking up there. Yeah, now I'm thinking about that. I definitely got to make some time to... So, that whole letting the script handle it thing, what they did for Warson Vets on their mission, I think I saw, was they hard-coded a distance between the starting bases, which is bad. So I need to go fix that for them. It's a really easy fix. So the designer did it and had like all the good intentions in the world when he did it. He just doesn't know. He hasn't worked with his maps as much as I have, so it's. I literally just have to go in there and change like one line of code, and it'll automatically adjust its. Instead of being a hard-coded size, it'll be dynamic per map. It's super easy, but just takes time. Alright, I think we just need a couple middle connectors here. There's no base right there, even though I keep looking at it like there is one. This is actually looking like a fun little map. Just kind of looking at the layout, picturing how matches would go. Okay, we are super close to being done. Okay, awesome. Okay, let's do a couple quick tests. Save. And dig it. Spawn in op 4, then we'll jump over to blue 4, spawn in, make sure that is working.
For the next sector.
Dig it.
Warlords protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector.
Stealing a car is considered a serious crime on Malden. Do you guys see a little tip on there? Ooh, a nighttime start. Nice.
Select sector.
Sweet. Cool. Well, we got all the maps done. That is awesome. Now I got probably another hour of work I have to do. So what I'm going to do is, well, end the stream. I'm going to start, I got to do a bunch of file stuff. I got to get this stuff onto the Warlords map pack. Then I got to get it onto the Open Warlords server. And then once I get that done, I will make a post in the official Warlords server on the map pack update. And I gotta grab those old school official maps too. So it's probably gonna take me another hour or two off stream, and then I'll go to bed. But step 1 is done. We all the maps are finished. So I will see you guys tomorrow night. Not 100% sure what we're working on. Probably gonna be trying to work on. I gotta do some back end work, logging work for a bunch of the missions. And yeah, we'll just kind of flow from there, see what happens. So, but I gotta get the back end logging stuff done, because right now that's an issue for me when I'm looking at the console log. So, alright, see you guys.